Can I hear myself? Is my mic working again? My mother-in-law decided to call as soon as I started broadcasting. Make sure everything's working here. If anybody's watching and wants to join the chat, you can hop on over to YouTube or Google Hangouts, and you can join in the chat. I'll probably start doing some of the underpainting on this to get that going, even though I still have a bunch of drawing down in the bottom corner here. Yeah, I've got to get this painting done in about a week or so I need to get this going pretty quick. In fact, I think I'll start some of the underpainting now. See if it's any better. Try to cut the glare down. I love the sound of my water pump running in the background. Well, for anybody who happens to be watching, I'm currently working on a 14 by 18 piece of hardboard. Gessoed. I got about I think 4 or 5 coats of gesso on this. And did the drawing with a brown colored pencil, a sienna brown. And then I'm doing the underpainting with burnt sienna. Got a golden fluid acrylic, just because I got it at Michael's pretty cheap. It was on clearance. And from if you ever watched videos by Jeff Miracola, that's where I ended up picking up doing the underpaintings with this color. I never actually did underpaintings before, and it was always struggling working on the white surface, trying to go straight to a solid color. And I noticed a lot of artists, not just Jeff Miracola, but I noticed a lot of other artists doing the same thing. So I figured I would give it a try, and I did it on my last painting, the Oops Wrong Egg painting. And it worked out really good, actually. It actually sped up the process considerably. So I'm going to be doing the same with this one. This one's going to take a little bit longer to do the underpainting because I've added a lot more detail into it, into the drawing, which makes doing the final painting a little bit easier. I figured the more detail you put into the drawing, the less thinking you have to do when you come into doing it in full color. I've got a stack of these boards already cut. Went to Home Depot a couple weeks ago. I was paying about, buy one of these boards like this ungessoed from the art store was costing, I don't know, I've got one left here. It was $4.10. And I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. I got about a dozen boards plus all the leftover scrap, which I can make some smaller, like 9x12s, for $8 from Home Depot. So yeah, I should have probably listened to the other artists that were out there saying, don't buy the pre-cut boards. So now I have plenty to paint on, which is good because I've got a lot of paintings that I want to do. I've got a couple others in the works. Definitely a lot different than working in the sketch card field when you're working in 3.5 by 2.5, that's for sure. There's a lot more room in here to get a lot more creative. I just finished working on dinosaur set a few months ago for Upper Deck. So I'm been on this huge dinosaur kick lately, and I've always loved dinosaurs and monsters and creatures and everything like that. Jurassic World coming out and doing the trading card set, I couldn't resist doing a larger scale piece. And I've got a gallery show coming up in a couple of weeks, and they need a new piece. So I figured I would do a dinosaur scene. Last time I tried doing a live broadcast, I didn't realize that YouTube would actually pick up the music I had playing in the background. So there's no music playing today, because the last time I did it, I had music playing in the background, and I hit violations for copyrights on every song that was playing over the radio. See a couple of people on. Hello to whoever you may be, guests. The drawing that I didn't do much from an original drawing. I did, you can see up top here, my thumbnails I did with watercolor real quick. I came up with about a dozen ideas or so. These are just a few of them. I think there's 9 of them on there. I had a couple others that I did on some scrap paper in my sketchbook, but wasn't quite sure where I was going with it. Had a couple ideas. I had a bunch of ideas left over from the trading card set that I had done for Upper Deck. So I took those ideas and I threw them down on there real fast, slapped a little bit of color on them, and then I picked through them, kind of narrowed down to which one I wanted, and between this one here and that one, those were kind of where I wanted to go for this painting. But I had to figure out a little bit more. So I went a little bit bigger. I taped out probably about a 4x6 area on here, and decided that I wanted a couple, some kind of raptors and some kind of Tyrannosaurus guarding its nest, which is basically the same thing that's on here. I got a couple of omniraptors, and then to keep with the location of where they're from, to get out the old dinosaur book here, they're from Mongolia area. So then I had to find a Tyrannosaur that matched, which is the Tarbosaurus, which is from the same area. So I'm going to try to keep it as authentic as possible. Now, so it's basically a Tyrannosaurus, but my towel here. But so the Tyrannosaurus is protecting its nest. I figured I'm going to make it look a little rougher. Going to try to get some realism into it as much as I can. I'm not much of a realistic painter or artist. A lot more cartoon or comic background, but I'm learning on here. Learning from trial and error with painting. And so I threw some damage on both sides of the tree, figuring that this is probably where the Tarbosaurus would be, like rubbing up against the trees, doing some damage, probably using it like almost like a scratching post, like deer rubbing their antlers and stuff. I spent some time out in the forest, in my backyard. I live out in the woods, and went out in the back and see if I can load them up. I don't know if you can see them here, but on my tablet I've got a lot of photos and stuff. You can see here photos from the yard, trees, fallen trees that were out in the woods, different settings and stuff, which I'll be using for reference, that I've been using for reference, or will be when I'm painting. Different lighting. Found some damaged trees and stuff. There was some pictures that I took at the Roger Williams Zoo in Rhode Island with a lot of, it was just before spring had set in, so the trees didn't have any leaves on it, and there are a lot of dead wood near like the shorelines, and there's a lot of areas where there's some dead trees and stuff that birds are living in and stuff. So they'll work really well when I'm coming in to paint a lot of the natural grounds, and there's a lot of dry, grassy areas and stuff like that have been worn. Because this, I'm figuring, all through here is going to be all dry and worn down because the the Tarbosaurus walking around, probably killing most of the plant life, except for what's close to the trees that it wouldn't be stepping on. Maybe some in the back. There'll be some bushes and shrubs because they're carnivores, so they're not going to be eating a lot of the stuff. And anything that would eat that kind of stuff probably wouldn't be that close. If they were that close, they'd end up being that skeleton, which I have to add some more of that in there. I don't want to make it gruesome, but I want to try to make it look as natural as possible. So what I'll be doing after this is once I get the whole thing painted with this undertone, I'll end up sealing it with just a little spray of workable fixative once I'm happy where it is. I should have probably done the colored pencil drawing with the workable fixative, but it seems to stay on pretty well. It doesn't wash away because it's got a little bit of a wax base to it. I also find too, I tried my first painting I did, the dragon one. I started drawing it with a regular pencil. I normally do everything with just regular, like a HB or HB lead pencil or something a little bit softer. But it was very hard to erase. And surprisingly, I don't use too many Prismacolor pencils, but I have a few of them. So I had that one color pencil here, I'm not even sure color. It's sienna brown, which is close to the burnt sienna. Is about the same color, so I gave that a try, and surprisingly enough, this pencil here, the sienna brown, actually erases easier off of the gessoed board than regular pencil. Switch over to a little bit bigger of a brush. This is, let me see if I can find something a little bit. Take one of my junkier brushes here. This one might work. Here we go. This should work. Doing the underpainting is a little more like working with watercolors, which is what I normally paint with. I'll be doing acrylics on this. I was gonna do this in oil, and I just don't have the time for the oils to dry as quick as I have to have this painting finished. Even using a alkyd dryer, this just would not be dry in time. So I'm going to have to paint this in acrylics, which is fine. I don't mind acrylics. I do prefer watercolors over everything else. I haven't painted in oil since I was in high school, so I didn't really want this to be my first shot at it either. I probably would do something a little smaller. had another idea for painting that I was going to do, and I just couldn't get into it. It's not the right time of year. It was more of a Halloween type of painting. And I think it's probably just better to do that closer to that time of year. I'm kind of glad I went with this one. Can't do a painting without coffee. Do the underpainting. I don't normally, like I said, do an underpainting, but I'm finding that you don't have to go full final detail. Just really want to block it out. Know where you're trying to work where the light sources are. Maybe throw in some of that detail that you missed with the drawing. And it's definitely just to set a tone over the board, to get rid of the white. Because, like I said before, it's really difficult to work right off of a whiteboard. Hang on 1 second. Never ending around here with the telephone. What was I saying though? But oh yeah, so trying to get from a whiteboard up to the colors that you want is not very easy. At least I found. And normally when I do watercolors, you want that white because you use a lot of the white of the paper as your highlights. But when you're doing acrylics and oils, you want to get rid of the white because you're going to bring it back in. If you want white, you don't use the gessoed board as your white. You'll bring in a titanium white or an off-white for your highlights, and then doing glazing, stuff like that. You'll cover up even some of those whites. There's not a lot of actual white that you need to worry about. Sorry, I'm kind of wandering off here. You'll paint in your whites that you need, so you want to tone the board down so you have a neutral color to work from. And I've seen a lot of people do like a burnt sienna because it's a warm mid-tone. I've seen people doing it in purple. I've seen some light blue. I've seen people do it in grayscale. Like Alex Ross does his underpaintings, I believe, in a grayscaled black to white grayscale of gouache. I know a lot of James Gurney's paintings that he's done. If anybody knows who he is, he does a lot of his underpaintings in casein, which is a milk-based paint. And he actually does a lot of his underpaintings full color. He'll actually do some of his underpaint, at least a couple of that I've seen. He did his underpaintings for Scientific America. He did one that was actually it was toned with the colors that he was going to actually paint. He didn't do a full detail. I have not tried casein. I've tried gouache, I've tried watercolors, obviously, acrylics, and I'm going to get back into doing oils. Once I'm done with this, I'll be working on another trading card set for a TV show called Firefly, which I have sitting up on the shelf over here. And I'll be doing all those painted as well. Let's see what's going on here. Anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. I've got a little while longer to be on here, and so if you got any questions at all, I'm keeping an eye on the chat if anybody happens to be on. This was kind of a little impromptu. I didn't really plan this ahead of time, but I ended up having some free time. Kids are in bed and the wife is out. She'll be out for a few hours, so I figured I'd get some work done. Not that I don't work while she's here too, but I figured it's easier to stream when there's less interruptions, although my telephone seems to be going off constantly. This will be 14 by 18 inches if I hadn't said it before. I've already got the frame kind of picked out for it, I think. At least I hope the frame will work for it. If not, I'll have to go get a new one. Probably be doing some prints. I got some prints of the dragon one available somewhere. Well, they'll be available in my Etsy store. I don't think I actually put those up yet. Hello, new viewer. Can't tell if you're in the chat or not, but hello. Probably be opening commissions up soon as well. I've got a few sketch covers that I've got to do, and I just finished up a large commission for a gentleman in France. So I've got commission spots available if anybody's interested as well. The links in my YouTube channel with my videos, you can get in contact with me through pretty much get in touch with me through Facebook or Instagram, through YouTube. So if anybody's interested in any commissions, please let me know. I'll probably be doing this hopefully a little bit more often. I was going to try to get on the Artcaster stream this morning, but unfortunately had some other things happen to where I couldn't. But we'll see. We'll see how the night goes or daytime. I don't know. I want to start getting some more videos done and stuff now that I'm being a little more selective on the things that I'm working on. Trying to start working on things that I enjoy a little bit more. Yeah, this is just rough. This isn't like what the final is going to look like. I mean, obviously it's going to be all in color. There's going to be a lot more detail. The actual, scaling detail or feather detail, like on these guys, not scaling, but more of a leathery skin look. Try to lift some of that color off there, put a little too much on. If you guys hop on over into the YouTube channel, I think the link is there. You can actually join in on the chat. If not, I'm not sure how to get the link to this is only the second time I've tried this. The link to the Google Hangouts page. Not sure if there's a way you can follow links to that to actually join the chat, but there is the YouTube chat as well, which I can see. Might make this an old T-Rex, close to maybe the end of her motherly years, if anything, maybe a little battle scarred, a little worn, protecting her nest while the male is out hunting. Or who knows, maybe she ate the male. Could be. I think I might make it look like she's been beaten up a little bit. Always trying to protect the nest from predators. I see a couple of new viewers in there. How you guys doing? See, I ended up getting my hand in there, but that's not a big deal. That's going to get painted over anyway. I've got my color scheme already kind of planned out. Got it up here. Can go a really nice warm center, nice warm glow. Not too sure about the colors on these guys. They're going to be obviously similarly colored. But I'm not quite sure what color to go with yet. Thinking probably a cooler color, maybe a purple blue, maybe. I know a lot of people do them. They almost look like a pheasant color with the red in the heads and stuff. But I've got them in the picture over here. They're kind of a maroonish and orange, but it's too warm, I think. I did them on the paper over here. They were instead of maroon and orange. I got a maroon and orange over here. On the smaller version, I did them purple and orange. So the beak areas in their chest, beak area in the chest was more orange, and the back was more lavender and purple, with maybe the fin top being, I don't know, might go a darker orange or something. I'll have to try it out on a separate piece first before I actually paint those guys. I think the Tarbosaurus I'm going to do pretty much typical grayish green, maybe. Do a two-toned. Come down and bring a nice maybe a detail line down the side. Hi, Dragon Guardian. You're from Bulgaria. Oh, that's a little ways away from my house. Thanks for joining in. If you just joined in, I'm working on a 14 by 18 inch hardboard painting, and right now I'm kind of in between. I've still got some pencil work to do on the bottom here, on the ground over in the tree over here, which isn't too bad. But I have to finish this raptor up and this one a little bit, some ground clutter and stuff. But for right now, I figured I'd do some of the underpainting on stuff that was finished. Kind of be boring just sitting there watching me pencil a little corner of the board that you probably can't even see that well. I got my camera set up in a strange location. I have to see about maybe getting a tripod to sit behind me over my shoulder. It might be easier to see. Let's see if I can pick this up for the camera a little bit, because I haven't really, I don't know if anybody can see it there. And there's still some drawing over in here to do. And then over in here, I still got some drawing. Got to finish whatever the bones and stuff like that are. But not really going in any crazy detail right now. Just going in, laying in some neutral brown here. Nice, well, like a warm brown. And helps to get the, like I was saying before, the lighting and stuff all prepped, so I know where the light sources are coming from. I can throw in some of those details that I missed, maybe when I was drawing. Trying to make these trees look a little worn when I get in there. I said before that the I want to have it look like that the Tarbosaurus here was rubbing up against the tree, using it almost like a scratching post. So I'll go in with a really fine brush, make it look really vibrant. I've got some reference photos over here of some trees in my yard that are pretty old and worn. We have a lot of deer and stuff in, so I was looking for trees that the deers were rubbing on. Couldn't find too much of that. It's just not the time of year yet for them for shedding their antlers. But I found some that looked like they were rubbed on and stuff, so I don't know if I can find them in here. I took quite a few. And ferns, took some pictures of some ferns and stuff because put some of the plant life in. Dragon, I'm going to be doing this in acrylics after I do the underpainting. I was going to do it in oils, but I need to have this painting done in about a week. And I just the oils that I have are walnut based, and even with the alkyd medium, I couldn't trust that they'd be dry in time because it has to go into a gallery show. So unfortunately, yes, I will be doing this one in acrylics. I want to do another one. I think my next one, I've got a little bit longer for the next show, so I'm going to be doing that in oils. It's I was mentioning before, I had some ideas for some. It was more of a Halloween themed picture, so I'll probably do that one next. I've got a stack of boards that are just ready to be. I got to gesso them, and they're ready to be painted on. I'm getting kind of carried away with the tree details already, and I'm just doing the underpainting on it. But yeah, I definitely want to work and do some oils. Just the time is not on my side right now. I had some commissions for a gentleman in France that took me a lot longer than expected. And so that took away a lot of the time that I would have spent on this. My preferred painting is working with watercolors, but watercolors just won't work on this. And I did my last painting in acrylics, and that came up pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. I don't know if you watch One Fantastic Week web show on YouTube, but I had it up there for their Critcast a few weeks back, and got a lot of really good feedback on it. And some things that need to be worked on. I know a lot of people they take offense that they get their work criticized, but I wouldn't have put it out there if I wasn't ready to hear what needed to be fixed. And I was quite surprised because I was waiting to hear them say, oh my God, you should just give it up and walk away. But I mean, I've been doing this for quite a while, and I was really happy with the criticism that I was given. I was going to take a lot of what they said to heart and put it into my next works, and see, always room for improvement. Even the best people out there are always looking to improve. So I mean, I've got plenty of room to work with for improvement. But I was really happy with I was really glad that they ended up picking my piece to be reviewed. And the gentleman who did the reviewing that day that was helping out their guest, he he was even nice enough to send me the Photoshop files that they did on the Critcast, so I could take those and work with them. And I took it actually into Photoshop, and I started working with it, trying to adjust it a little bit to where I thought it should have been myself. And I may go with it. I don't do a lot with Photoshop anymore. Let me see. I don't remember here. Hang on one second. Oh, his name is Scott Brundage. Was on. I'm horrible with names. And he was a really good guy. Like I said, he was nice enough to save all the files that he did on the show and send them to me on Facebook, so I could take a look at what he did up close and then go from there. So I started, like I said, I started making some adjustments. There's a couple of things that I had on the first piece that I wasn't really happy with. I'm still not happy with the detail on the egg. I had a giant. Basically, what the picture was a dragon in the background, and in the foreground was a giant dinosaur dragon egg. And on the dragon egg is a chicken. It was just basically like, "Oops, wrong egg," and which was the title of the picture. And it's just supposed to be a humorous piece, and tell a little simple story. And I wasn't happy with the dragon egg by any means. And looking online, looking for different ideas what other people did for dragon eggs, and I kept coming up with the Game of Thrones dragon eggs, and I didn't want to copy that. That's just too obvious. And so I wasn't really happy with the dragon eggs. So that needed some work. And the dragon's eye always bothered me. It wasn't quite looking at the chicken like I wanted it to, and it wasn't really set in the right spot. But I'm my own worst critic too. And everybody, people I'm talking to, they're like, "Oh, it's fine," or then other people say, "Oh, yeah, I could probably adjust it." And I knew it was off, so I adjusted it a little bit in Photoshop, and I got it right about where I wanted it. And then I put a reflection of the chicken actually in the eye in Photoshop, which I didn't do on the actual painting. But that was a lot of trial, a lot of error. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to get stuff, if you do any artwork and you get a chance to have somebody else critique it, oh God, it's worth it. Definitely is. This one's going to have a little bit more of an atmospheric effect to it. It's going to be hazier, a little hazy maybe in the background. So I'm just using a larger brush here, a number 6 round. Just basically blocking in some of the tree here. forgot I even had a coffee over here. Oh, thanks, Dragon Guardian. Yeah, I did. You should have seen how many times I actually repainted that egg. The uh, the egg I actually started. I drew it all out. It was all crackle looking. It was. I did it like almost like a mosaic pattern, like a mosaic wall. And I painted the whole thing, and I wasn't happy with it. And so I repainted the whole thing again. I tried doing all these different highlights. I brought out the airbrush, tried painting on it, and I just couldn't get it right. And then I just decided I painted the whole thing black. And I had the chicken sitting on top of it already, and the chicken was finished. And so I'm painting around this little tiny chicken. And I actually did, I don't know where it is up here, but I've got a box of like sea sponges. And I actually used sea sponge, and I dabbed all over it and did all different colors on it and stuff. There's probably about, I think, 4 or 5 layers of paint on that egg. But I think when I do I'm going to be putting that up in my Etsy store for prints. I'm going to get some prints made of that one, and obviously I'll probably get this one done as well. Get some prints made of this one, but probably in the next few days I'll have that up in the store. I think I'm going to leave it as the original for the prints, just because I don't like to make the adjustments off of I want the prints to be the same as the original. I don't want to make somebody think that they're getting something that I don't know. I just, if they want to buy the original, if somebody wants to buy the original and they want to buy a print, I want them to match. So I don't know, just kind of a stickler that way. I'll be getting the original back soon. That's in a gallery right now in Mystic, Connecticut. So I should be getting that back when I go to drop this one off, actually. I'll be getting that back, but unless somebody buys it while it's down there, anybody watching from Mystic wants to buy a painting, I got one down there. But no, seriously, I'll be getting that back in about a week, and I'll be putting that up in my shop along with the prints for it. Probably about a week and a half, I think. Not sure what the date is for the show. I think it's the 12th. Friday's the 6th, so hang on. Saturday's the 6th. Not the calendar. So Monday, I think Monday the 14th I have to have this done by, which shouldn't be too bad. It did take me about a week between this and other commissions and stuff. My last dinosaur paintings I did were on trading cards for. I've got the artist proofs here. I don't know if you can see them here. So I got a Brachiosaurus, a Utah Raptor, and I don't even know how to say that, Parasaurolophus. And the artist proofs, they're blank. So I get to do these. I get to keep these, but I did, I think, 71 paintings in a couple of weeks for that set. I think those were for Upper Deck for their Dinosaurs trading card set coming out in July. But yeah, I did 71 paintings by a couple of weeks. And then I've got, let's see, stop here for a second. Then I got up here, this is what's coming after the dinosaurs. Dinosaur painting is another set from Upper Deck, which is Firefly from the TV series. So I've got, I don't know how many cards here I've got for that. I've got 30, I think. So yeah, I've got 30 cards for Firefly. Oh, yeah, another set to work on. And I think I've got a couple more coming. I've got another set coming sometime, I think, August. So in between all of those, I've got more paintings to do, obviously, because that's my venture that I want to stick with here. I like painting. Trading cards are fun, but I like working a little bit bigger. Keep an eye on the time here. I think I'll be ending this up pretty soon. Go for a little bit longer here. I've got some more I can work on, but I'm getting down to the points where I still have some drawing to finish in here before I can go much further. I can probably work on this tree over here. Wife should be home soon, so I'll probably go watch some TV. I do appreciate everybody who did come on and hang out. I hope to do this more often. This is actually kind of relaxing, and I can get work done and still be able to socialize a little bit. I normally just sit back. I don't even really listen to music too much when I'm painting. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately, and I seem to get a lot more work done. Audiobooks seem to do a lot better than listening to music. I find myself when I'm listening to music while I paint, I always hit that song that I either, I don't really feel like listening to that, or it's just something I don't like, and I spend more time sitting there with my iPod or Spotify or something, clicking, skipping through songs. But with the audiobooks, I can listen to the book. I can actually get some reading done because I don't have a lot of time to sit and read books when I'm not working, because I do this. This is what I do for a large amount of hours a day. Is I'm not at my table here painting or drawing or what have you. I'm usually doing stuff with the family or doing stuff around the house. So I don't have time to read books as much as I would love to. I've got a stack of them that I bought too. I take them to the beach every now and then, or take the kids over the summer somewhere. But even when I'm out at the beach and stuff, I got a travel kit for watercolor painting, and I usually paint while I'm at the beach. So I find myself working constantly. My mother-in-law's brother yelled at me one time because every time we have a family get-together, no matter where it is, I bring my work with me because I could travel with it fairly easy. And he got all angry at me because he's like, "Don't you ever not work?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Well, it's a good thing that I'm always working. I can bring it with me. I can start and stop pretty much whenever I want, unless a deadline's kicking my butt." And well, in this day and age, you can't really complain if you're working. He's like, yeah, he told me that, he says, maybe one of these days we can have a family get together where you're not working. But this is what makes me happy. I enjoy doing this, and I love creating stuff. I don't know. Could be a bricklayer or something and not be happy. Some people find that that's a fun thing to do, and they enjoy doing it. Some people want to be doctors. Some people want to be lawyers. Some people want to work in a grocery store, gas station, work in a restaurant as a chef, or this is what makes me happy. So when we have family get-togethers and I'm sitting there doing some drawing, you just got to remember that it's what makes me happy. Besides my family, and my family always makes me happy. If I wasn't doing artwork, I would probably be working in restaurants again. I've had a hell of a lot of different careers through my life. I worked at gas stations, and I worked in a lot of restaurants, and I was a security guard for years. I worked in casino security and Wells Fargo security, and it just wasn't fun. And I went to art school and finally got to start doing what I enjoy doing. But if I wasn't doing this, I would probably be cooking. I enjoy cooking. I worked for the Navy doing submarine simulation software and did a lot of graphics for that. So, and I did finally got into doing comic work. And now I'm doing this. This is what I like. It's great. I have a very supportive wife, two great kids that are pains in the ass just like everybody else's kids, but I love them nonetheless, and for the most part they let me work, except for when they want something. But they're getting grown up. I mean, one's turning 13 this weekend, the other one's 15. And a worthless guard dog. Oh, look at that. Running out of paint on the palette. Aren't you a worthless guard dog? Oh, yeah, guard cat. Four cats and a dog, and none of them ever let you know if somebody's at the door. Did I say that right? Four cats and a dog. I think I said it right. A little more paint here. So hopefully the next time I can broadcast, I'll be actually working on colors. I should have the underpainting and drawing finished, hopefully this weekend. And then come Monday, I should be full steam ahead on colors, and I will have figured out the colors of these guys and a little more ground clutter, probably some little stone, and it could be dirt. Like I said, there's going to be some dirt down in here. There's no grass probably over in here if the Tarbosaurus is walking around. I'm figuring a lot of plant life is dead, at least in the main walking areas. really appreciate everybody who stopped by to say hi and stopped by and just watched. You check out my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get a little more regular post on there. I've got a new video that I've got to edit that should be up hopefully this coming week. Some more of my sketchbook stuff. You can get to everything through my website. It's www.3dxstudios.com. It's 3DX Studios with the number 3. All the links to where you can find me are in the description below on the YouTube channel. And if you look up either my name, George Deep, or 3DX Studios on YouTube, you can find. Please subscribe and check out the other videos and stuff. It might be something you like. And you can also check out my Etsy store, which is, I don't even know my address for my store. Look at that, how pathetic. It's www.etsy.com/shop/3DX Studios. And I'll be posting up pictures of this as I go on my Facebook page. And if you're finding this from the dinosaur toy forum, I'll post up some pictures in the thread where I posted the live show link. As well. And if you missed the show and you're watching this later, not to worry. I will try my best to broadcast a little more often. It's just a little difficult when you've got 2 children running around the house. So I try to do this when they're either in school or in bed, because they always seem to like to interrupt during the day. But I will probably call this one in for now. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. And I will be posting up some pictures soon. Probably got about another 5 minutes here before I gotta stop, actually. I will be doing, if anything, I will try to at least maybe record some of the painting when maybe record some of the painting and put up some time lapse on my YouTube channel. I'll see a couple of new viewers in there. Sorry, you guys. I will be ending soon. Unfortunately, I've been on for, oh God, I don't even know how long. Probably about almost 2 hours. It was a little impromptu. I'll try to advertise a little earlier during the day next time of when I'm going to be doing this. I was not planning this. I was planning on working. I was not planning on recording, but I was able to get everything set up and had the house to myself, so I was able to broadcast tonight, although I had a few phone interruptions with my family calling. If you need the links again, you can pretty much contact me for commissions and everything through my website at www.3dxstudios.com. I am taking commissions at the moment. anything from trading card size commissions all the way up to 14 by 18 paintings, and everything in between. If anybody's interested in commission, please hit me up now, because right now my commissions list is short. I've only got three commissions to do, and then my commissions list will be empty. So I have 3, so I'll probably be taking probably 3 to 4 more commissions before I close the list for a little while, just so I can get caught up on everything. I don't like to take too many and not be able to fulfill the commissions for people. Alrighty. I could probably do this all night. Unfortunately, my hand is not going to allow me to. I just started this today. I started the drawing actually last night, but I pretty much worked on it all day today. I can't complain. I got quite a bit done for a day. I've still got quite a few days of work ahead of me. Alrighty, everybody. I think I am done for now. I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out. And the next time I will be doing one of these, I will give a little bit more of an advanced warning so people can come and hang out. All right, everybody have a good night, and I will catch you next time.